So today we're going to be understanding more about copy trading and traders' motives, but I will give a disclaimer here that any copy trading secrets revealed in the next 20 minutes, human protocol can't endorse and your capital is at risk, but we can move through the red tape now. It would be great to do some quick intros on the sofa. So, want to kick us off?
Cool. Hey guys, I'm Jonnie, I lead marketing at DeBridge. So we're a cross-chain interoperability protocol. So we handle and facilitate everything from message passing to cross-chain value transfer. Yeah, that's me.
Rachel?
Hi again, I'm Rachel, the Global PR Manager at BitGet, and BitGet is actually a top 5 derivative exchange on CoinGecko, Cointelegraph, CoinMarketCap, and we are focused on copy trading, as well as we are also a Web3 company, which Web3 wallet.
Hi. I'm Alex Ray. I'm CEO and co-founder of Albus protocol. We are doing on-chain KYC, digital identity and compliance as a service. So that means we opening new business opportunities and new liquidity streams for Web3 projects through the KYC AML compliance, in taking the upcoming pain which they will have through all of the upcoming regulations, which will be applied soon.
Hi everyone, I'm Jan Philip, or JP, one of the co-founders of W3S, which is a crypto investment banking firm. We partner with leaders in Web3 companies, venture capitalists, and DAOs on strategic transactions such as mergers and acquisitions, capital formation. We've facilitated over 20 transactions over the last 2 years. Have worked with companies such as Uniswap, Zerion, for example, and yeah, great to be here.
Hi, I'm Zia. I'm the ecosystem manager at RAM Network. So we do on and off ramp to be quite simple, and we are the ones trying to bring all the Web2 users, and making sure that the experience is really streamlined, and getting all the partners to keep on building, and without having to take care of any of the legal and compliance. And we work with companies like them just to make sure that everything is quite easy, and we get the next billion users and help everyone out.
Great, thanks everyone. So, thinking about motives a little bit, I know, Rachel, that you've been a Bitcoin investor since 2017. What attracted you at the outset, all those years ago?
I think at first it was the mysteriousness that attracted me, but as I got into the white paper and the technology, I can see the application and potential of the blockchain technology, and that got me into the rabbit hole like a lot of the others here. So I would say nowadays I drink, eat, breathe crypto, and I can't really get back out.
Mm-hmm. And I think maybe there's a perception to kind of the wider world that you need a background in finance to trade, and so I wondered, whether you think that perception is starting to change and barriers are starting to maybe break down in this industry. That's to any of the panel.
Yeah, I think it's a bit like a restart for trading as well, because back in the days, traditional finance seems like a very big boys club where it's all controlled by big capitals and all the people who are very experienced. And in crypto, the information is actually limitless out there, and everyone can spend time to look up information on any kind of tokens, white paper, and if they want to learn about the technology, how the token is coded, anyone can do it, and it's very transparent, and also the entry barriers is pretty low. Anyone can open an account with a wallet or a crypto exchange with only 100 USD. That allows more people to get on board, and it feels less daunting to get into it.
So, Zay, I know that we've got a lot of new audiences here, and different demographics and locations differ wildly. How does RAM Ramp work to get to know potential new audiences?
So for us, we, at Essence, we're a global company, and we want to have that reach and touch everywhere, but we work together a lot with our partners to make sure that we are always aligned. So it's not so much a Ramp decision to what we're going to do or where we're going to be, and what payment methods we need. Is just really going after partners and understanding exactly what they want. Because at the end of the day, we thrive if we get users to our partners, not necessarily to us, Ramp. So this synergy needs to happen. So we're really focused on how the market is moving, and this the availability of white papers and new wallets, new exchanges that are way easier to navigate helps us as well. So we make the journey to get in easy and straightforward, but we need the ecosystem to actually be welcoming as well. Because back in the day, it was not as well either. You either needed to be from finance or tech, and nowadays it completely changed to we want to be available for everyone, every project that has that ambition, and us, we combine that, we make sure that is possible from a legal regulatory perspective, and that everyone has the same experience as if they were interacting with another project. And this goes across the globe. So we obviously, US and Europe and Asia, there's a lot of hubs, but we start seeing Africa coming in, South America with a massive boom. So we are following those trends and making sure that we're there and we can deliver. So, intro.
Yeah. So, JP, you said before that the biggest challenge to Web3 is kind of public stigma, which has really been stoked by some pretty public and catastrophic setbacks. What do you think it will take to set it on a new path or reset the path? Is that kind of language, terms? How can it be maybe more barriers be broken down?
To drive adoption of Web3, you mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, obviously the industry as a whole suffered a lot from a lot of events over the last years, right after the peak bull market, and it's all about regaining confidence and trust from, not only retail investors, but also institutional investors. I think we as a company, we work a lot with institutional clients, and obviously a lot of people have lost money and have lost confidence in the industry, and I think the industry itself needs to obviously reorganize, right, and make progress. And I think over the last 2 years, with a lot of big projects launching, we've really made a lot of progress on the infrastructure side, on the technological side, which eventually will also attract again institutional investors to really become active in the industry and deploy significant resources.
So investors kind of become, like a mouthpiece, or become maybe figureheads, I guess, kind of getting people in. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I think, obviously the ETFs that are all over the news right now are a big milestone for the overall industry, right? And as soon as a company like a BlackRock launches an ETF, this will basically give other institutional participants a lot of trust and confidence again, right? And I think we need to reach those milestones in order for the whole industry to grow really beyond what is now the crypto native crowd and the crypto native users, both on the retail and on the institutional side. And I think we as an industry as a whole really need to work together to make progress, right, on that front.
So, Jonnie, we mentioned like sort of some quite catastrophic, maybe PR, but what is good PR and marketing in the world of crypto trading? What is best practice, and how is that evolving?
Yeah, I think, I know a lot of Web3 companies hire PR agencies and allocate a considerable amount of resources for like their monthly budget. And I'm not convinced how high the ROI is. Like, I would say that essentially, it depends on your audiences, but like if you're a DeFi protocol, for example, we're essentially, in the DeFi space at DeBridge, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to be spending a lot of money to get placement in CoinDesk and various kind of publications. It comes down to who's reading those things, because DeFi natives, like the teams that we want to build on top of us, they're not really reading CoinDesk and kind of thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to build on DeBridge now. Maybe for kind of if we want to reach investors and to kind of build our profile in the more corporate world, like the PR, allocating resources and time to that makes more sense. But in terms of like DeFi native PR, like everything's happening on crypto Twitter, CT, or in Telegram. So I would say actually PR, like I've talked to a lot of different teams in DeFi, and like everyone kind of struggles with their PR strategy for that reason, because they just think, they raise, say there's a company that raises like 50 million and they're like, oh yeah, PR, like we know that we should have someone that works on PR because that's what you do when you're a company. And then they don't really know what to do. So it's interesting.
Is that because they're not kind of familiar with Telegram and crypto Twitter? What's the barrier to kind of that we can't do that?
I don't know. I think it's just like it's such a it's again like the distribution of the way that the channels that are the most active, like often they're hiring kind of Web 2 native PR agencies, and they're still they're doing a great job to get placement in some of these publications, but I just don't know if like the ROI is really there, like compared to if your company can do like a tweet thread, and then like you get a ton of different big players, like it all comes down to reputation. So if you can get like the founder of Solana to retweet your thread, then that's going to have way more impact than paying $10,000 to get in TechCrunch or whatever, I think.
So it's a bit more who you know and
Absolutely.
who you can connect with.
And you have to work on those like those relationships yourself. It's very like relationship based in crypto.
Have the rest of the panel found that so much of this is kind of new networks that you're having to connect with, and events like this perhaps, is that now a big part of your roles?
Yeah, I agree. Like in crypto, especially for startups, maybe getting on the top publication is not the top goal for them. Whereas like it's better efficiently allocated the resource to influencers marketing, because the nature of the field is built so much upon reputation and transparency, and a lot of times a traditional way of PR just seems a bit too official and too polished for most of the crypto bro or like the developers out there. So I would agree.
I love that. I think that's a really kind of great point for a lot of us to take away, and anyone working in PR. This is obviously a new area to be to kind of work within. So back to, I guess, the nature of Rachel's presentation. A lot of that was about knowing your customer and knowing their motives. But Alex, I know that know your customer processes are really crucial in the space. Who do you think is kind of doing that really well?
Please.
So know your customer processes. Who do you think is doing that really well in this space?
Now it's not possible to do that, to know the customers in general, because all of the peoples, humans, or whatever behind the wallets are unknown, pseudonym. So, but to know the customer in general, that's a good idea, because if you know the customer as a business, you can offer the customers personalized services. Then you can make decision if you want to take the legal or compliance risks of the customers or of the businesses or humans which are behind the wallets to you as a business. You can manage your risk appetite, and you can manage your risks which you want to take or not with the end customers. Because now in the turbulent time we are living right now, there are multiple jurisdictions and multiple people which actually the businesses don't want to work with. And they know your customer, make it possible to choose who are the people to whom you distribute your money as a liquidity provider, or to whom you offer your services as DeFi protocol. And on our hand, all of the upcoming regulations, which will be applied soon means in 18 months, in 2 years, they will force all of the DeFi protocols to know their customers somehow. For example, 3 weeks ago, your console, they signed new regulation, new extension to fiscal regulations in EU. It will be applied on 1st January of 26. And all of the crypto asset service providers, in sense of MiCA, will be forced to share the taxation numbers with the fiscal authorities. Okay. How it is possible if all of the people are unknown?
Yeah, it sounds like regulation is something that might hold things back, but in sort of preparation for that coming in, are there processes that companies should be looking to kind of get on board with sooner rather than later, so that then it's not such a sea change when that happens?
So you mean how it will happen that the customers will get onboarded in sense of KYC in blockchain? Yeah. There are multiple ways. Also, the first one, you need to teach the end customers that actually they don't need to be afraid of the KYC. Actually, they're not crypto people as a normal people. The common people, we are doing the KYC multiple times a month for different reasons. And that's not a bad thing. And of course, the people need to be educated that it's not a bad idea to do a KYC on chain, but we are offering the possibility to do that in a distributed way. That means the identities are collected in their own data wallets of the end customers, and we generate ZK proofs, so that means the proofs that they comply with some predefined policies, rules of the businesses without to disclose their personal data. That means we're trying to combine all of the needs from all of the participants, like end customers, business, and regulators.
I think, we've got two maybe opposing forces, kind of accessibility and adoption, and how can the acceleration of accessibility and adoption, how can that be done kind of ethically going forward, knowing maybe that regulation is incoming? What does ethical mean now in this space?
I can grab this one. So us, since the beginning, inception, we touch fiat, right? So we touch crypto and fiat. So we got this sort of issues. We've been dealing with it since the beginning because we need to have that reporting. We have almost the regulation as if it were a financial service because we touch on both sides. So for us, what we've been doing, and the reason why we're, for DeFi protocols and all of our partners, we take care of all the KYC, all the AML, all of the everything that will need to happen in the future, and unfortunately, or fortunately, it will happen, and we take care of it. And that's a bit of our focus, is to make sure that no one else has to take care, and that people don't need to do 10 KYCs, to use 10 different projects that they use every day. It's just they do one KYC, they have that, we have that information, and if we are partnered with all of those dApps, you can use that one entry, and that is covered, and we take care of everything, all of the regulatory framework and all of the regulatory side. And this is something that will come in. Obviously, the inside, when our crypto or blockchain and everything started, we were not looking for this, but it is the reality right now. There will be MiCA incoming, and there's a lot of other regulatory frameworks coming in, and people just need to adapt, and we try to do that as much as possible. And I think for most projects, it will be a massive hurdle for them to do that directly, to have that information, because then you add a lot of layers of issues. So if you have that information from your customer, now you have GDPR issues. So we need to make it secure because that is sensitive information. So do you really want to have that information? So that's why I think there, and something that really works well in our space, that everyone is very collaborative, and everyone wants to make sure that the ecosystem grows and it's easy for people to come in, and that's where we sort of all have our parts. So the KYC, there's different providers that work with us work with the projects. So at the end of the day, you need to comply to this, but you don't want to make everything around this. So that's why you sort of just need to combine forces and make this as smooth as possible, although it's it's not ideal, obviously, for a user experience to have to go through all those hoops.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a nice point to end on. So thank you so much, panel, for joining me today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of Newconomics and the rest of the day. So thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.